Well, when the Republicans came to Washington in the aftermath of the 1994 election, they promised basically three things. One, they said they were going to shrink the size of the federal government. Two, they said they were going to shift a lot of power back to the states. And three, they said that they were going to drain the swamp of public corruption. And I think as we look back now, more than a decade later, we see that they have failed on almost all three counts. The government has grown larger. The federal government's role in our daily lives continues to grow. And of course, as we see from the variety of scandals emerging from Washington today, the swamp of public corruption is still there and deeper than ever. I think if you look at the background of some of the scandals that are happening in Washington right now, specifically the Abramoff scandal, which I write about in the K Street Gang, you'll find that the roots of that scandal go back to the aftermath of 1974, Watergate, and of course the huge surge of Democrats who were entered into the Congress in the 1974 elections. And there they enacted a variety of laws limiting executive power and the president's ability to control budgets, for example, and also restricting where politicians could raise money and in what amounts. And so that actually had the perverse effect of increasing the role that lobbyists play in the political process. You know, in the mid-'70s, lobbyists, if you were a lobbyist, you were kind of looked down on as someone who was making money off the political process that was a little bit, you know, unpleasant behavior. No one wanted to be a lobbyist when you talked to veterans of Capitol Hill at the time. Instead, they wanted to go on, become politicians themselves, or work in high-profile policy jobs. Now, the most influential people in Washington, the most powerful people, are often lobbyists. Why is that? Well, it's their ability to raise vast sums of money. And it's a role they only can play in the aftermath of the campaign finance restrictions instituted after Watergate. Well, I think as much as there are scandals and corruptions, the system does work. I mean, the crimes which Jack Abramoff pleaded guilty and his associates have pleaded guilty remain illegal. They were illegal when he did them, and they remain illegal. We just had a conviction, actually, of David Safavian, a former Bush administration official who was implicated in the Abramoff investigation. So I think the system is working. We also have to recognize that we often hear about the bad actors, but in fact there are thousands, tens of thousands actually, of public servants throughout the United States of America at all levels of government. And even though the number of public corruption cases has increased as a result of policy shifts within the Justice Department, I think still, when you look at the numbers, it's a minority who commit crimes or who engage in wrongdoing. So I think a pleasant optimism about politics in general, certain idealism would help us. But I do think these prosecutions will also change the fundraising habits of elected officials. Well, I'm a conservative. I'm a political conservative, and I'm a political analyst, and I write about politics. And so I think in order to be an analyst, you need to have a certain distance from the process. And of course, every analyst brings his own background and his own beliefs when you look at politics, but you want to keep them in the background. And so I'm not a member of the Republican Party, but I am a conservative, and I would hope that the conservatives in the Republican Party assert themselves.